Good evening, friends. This is Father Tim. It's Friday evening. It is time for us to continue our reading of First Samuel. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for praying with us as we read together tonight from First Samuel. Please do take a moment to post a greeting, share a comment, let us know that you are here with us, and thank you, friends, for being with us as we spend this time together in the scriptures. Good evening, Linda. Friends, let's start the way we always do by taking a look. Good evening, Mom. Let's start, as we always do, by taking a look at the big picture for what we are reading. So, yes, 1st and 2nd Samuel, originally one book. And here we are in 1st Samuel. So we'll focus in there. We are picking up our reading tonight at chapter 15, verse 32. We're in this point where, again, Saul has been called out for his disobedience, and Samuel has repeated that God has pronounced judgment and that the kingdom is to be taken away from him and given to someone who is his neighbor and more deserving. So, on this lifeline arch, we are somewhere coming off of the high and starting early on into Saul's demise, which will fully happen by the end of this book. We're getting close to the introduction to David. We're not there yet, but it's not far away. And I do believe that we are getting to that tonight. So, friends, let's read. Let's pull up our reading windows. And the timer, the left-hand column, you see a Jewish biblical text. In the right-hand column, you see a Christian biblical text. The Complete Jewish Bible and the New Revised Standard Version Updated Edition. I'll be reading from the left hand from the Complete Jewish Bible, and I will be using the right-hand column primarily to point out those moments where Christian biblical language and Jewish biblical language don't always match up, where the names of persons, places, and things are, from time to time, different from Jewish tradition to Christian tradition. Good evening, Anthony. Chapter 15, verse 32. So let's scroll down to verse 32. And this continues the aftermath of Saul's disobedience. Saul kept the spoils from the defeat of the Amalekites rather. And Saul spared the life of Agag, the king of the Amalekites. And now Samuel is continuing to respond to that. Let's read. Then Samuel, said, "Bring Agag, the king of Amalek, here to me." Agag came to him in chains and said, without doubt, mine will be a bitter death. Shmuel said, "Just as your sword has left women childless, so will your mother be left childless among women." Then Shmuel cut Agag in pieces before Adonai in Gilgal. Shmuel returned to Ramah, and Shaul went up to his house. Remember that Shaul. Shaul went up to his house in Gibeath Shaul, Gibeah of Saul. Never again did Shmuel see Shaul until the day he died. But Shmuel grieved over Shaul, and Adonai regretted that he had made Shaul king over Israel. Chapter 16. Adonai said to Shmuel, "How much longer are you going to go on grieving for Shaul, now that I have rejected him as king over Israel? Fill your horn with oil and set out. I will send you to Jesse, the Bet-Lachmi, the Bethlehemite, because I have chosen myself a king from among his sons." Shmuel said, "How can I go? If Shaul hears of it, he will have me killed." Adonai said, "Take a female cow with you, and say, 'I have come to sacrifice to Adonai.' Summon Yishai to the sacrifice. I will tell you what to do, and you are to anoint for me the person that I point out to you." Shmuel did what Adonai said, and arrived at Bethlehem. The leaders of the city came trembling to meet him and asked, "Are you coming in peace?" He answered, "In peace. I have come to sacrifice to Adonai. Consecrate yourselves and come with me to the sacrifice." He consecrated Yishai and his sons and summoned them to the sacrifice. When they had come, he looked at Eliab, and said, "This has to be Adonai's anointed one here before me." But Adonai said to Shmuel, "Don't pay attention to how he looks or how tall he is, because I have rejected him. Adonai doesn't see the way humans see. Humans look at the outward appearance, but Adonai looks at the heart." Then Yishai called Abinadab, and presented him to Shmuel. But he said, "Adonai hasn't chosen this one either." Yishai presented Shammah. Again, Shmuel said, Adonai hasn't chosen this one either. Yeshai presented 7 of his sons to Shmuel, but Shmuel told Yeshai, Adonai has not chosen these. Are all your sons here? Shmuel asked Yeshai, Are all your sons here? Shmuel asked Yeshai. He replied, There is still the youngest. He's out tending the sheep. Shmuel said to Yeshai, Send and bring him back, because we won't sit down to eat until he gets here. Here's the transition. He sent and brought him in with ruddy cheeks, red hair, and bright eyes. He was a good-looking fellow. Adonai said, Stand up and anoint him. He's the one. Shmuel took the horn of oil and anointed him there in his brother's presence. From that day on, the spirit of Adonai would fall upon David with power. So Shmuel set out and went to Ramah. Now the spirit of Adonai had left Shaul. Instead, an evil spirit from Adonai would suddenly come over him. Shaul's servants said to him, Do you notice that there's an evil spirit from God that suddenly comes over you? Let our Lord now command your servants who are here with you to look for a man who knows how to play the lyre. Then, if the evil spirit from God comes over you, he will play, and it will do you good. Shaul said to his servants, Find me a man who can play well, and bring him to me. One of the young men answered, Here, I've seen one of the sons of Yishi the Bet-Lachmi, who knows how to play. He's a brave soldier. He can fight. He chooses his words carefully, and he's pleasant looking. Besides, Adonai is with him. So Shaul sent messengers to Yishai, saying, Send me David your son who is out with the sheep. Yeshai took a donkey, loaded it with bread, a bottle of wine, and a kid, and sent them with David his son to Shaul. David came to Shaul and presented himself to him. Shaul took a great liking to him and made him his armor bearer. Shaul sent a message to Yeshai. Please let David stay in my service, because I'm pleased with him. So it was that whenever the evil spirit from God came over Shaul, David would take the lyre and play, with the result that Shaul would find relief and feel better as the evil spirit left him. Friends, that's where we're going to pause in our reading for Samuel. Next time, we will pick up at the opening verse of chapter 17. So we are very much now in this time where David is on the rise and Saul is quickly heading to his demise. It's going to take a little bit of time. When I say quickly, I don't really quite mean that it's going to happen immediately. We've read 16 chapters of 31. So there's another 15 chapters to go. And in those 15 chapters, we will see David's increase become greater, and we will see Saul's demise grow deeper until at last, by the end of this first book of Samuel, Saul will have died. Evening prayers in another live in just a moment.